Hey there, PMP Beta. My name is in the title, and this is my upload. So basically, I'm a bit more of a competitive person. So if my thing happens to lacking, basically comedy, that's a bit of an expectation because I plan to just stick with the competitive sort. And this is gonna be an OU match. I usually do start with UU. So let's just jump right into this thing. And basically, I'm gonna lead off with Tyranitar because this is a sand team. The core is more stally than usual, but the backbone of the entire core is a bit more offensive orientated. So I'm going to start off with my Tyranitar. It's banded, and I'm just going to go straight for a crunch. This is going to do about 75%, and he's going to go for an Earth Power. This basically tells me that he doesn't have too much to bother hurting me with, but here he's actually going to get a crit to start off the match. Not one thing that I really wanted to see, but I know I'm in a good two-hit KO range, obviously. So he's going to want to switch out, and he's actually going to go into his Infernape. This is going to easily bring it down to about half, being that 60% after you cut the stab. That's automatically, not 60%, I should say, a 60 base power after you cut all the stab and after everything. And that's still going to do about a little more than half. So honestly, that is really, really good. So I'm going to go straight into Jellicent just to basically dodge the close combat, as I see Tyranitar will have use later. And being that he's going to switch out here, this will tell me that he's either Banded or Scarf. I'm not really worried about finding out whether or not. So I'm going to go for a Taunt, knowing that his next Pokemon in will probably be Ferrothorn, and he most likely wants to either try to set up Leech Seed or Hazards or anything on the switch. But here I can guarantee he's most likely going to go for a Power Up, so I am going to be able to switch into something that can handle it. And I'm deciding to go into my Fortress. He's actually going to go for a Gyro Ball, trying to hit anything that I might want to bring in, something like a setup sweeper, though I don't really have one, I do believe. Dragonite could be one, but it does happen to be banded as well. So, as I'm in Fortress, I'm just going to start laying up Toxic Spikes as I see fit, even though he does have not a Ferrothorn, I should say, sorry. And also this Scizor here, which are both steel types and are immune to the poison of Toxic Spike. So now I have two layers, automatically okay. Everything that comes in that is not a steel type, flying, or actually magic guard will be affected by toxic. So that's actually very, very well off for me. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch right here, as he's actually going to go for, I believe, a Bullet Punch. And I'm going to take this as an opportunity to go into my Rodom W and basically KO it with a Hidden Power Fire. As long as it doesn't switch out, this is basically going to be a clean KO from that range easily. So he's actually going to switch out, being that he wants to preserve his Scizor, and he's actually going to go into his Azelf, being that it's not very defensive in general. Azelf is going to be taking about half from that, well, a little more like 45% or so, but with the Sandstorm damage, it will be a little bit more. So here I've already broken the sash he's most likely carrying, and he's going to go for Stealth Rocks. I knew he would go for Stealth Rocks, so I'm just going to go for a Hydro Pump to cleanly KO him from this range, and that automatically means that one threat is basically gone. So I'm in a really good position, and being that my Sandstorm is up, the lefties will kick in, and I will be at an even better health, I should say. So basically, he's going to send in his Gastrodon. Now that it's toxic, I can easily handle it a bit better. So I'm going to actually go into Jellicent, as he's actually going to make a really smart play here, and he's going to double switch into his Gengar just to have my Jellicent in a bit of a check. So I'm obviously not going to want to stay in here. I'm going to switch out, and I know the best Pokemon I have to take care of any Gengar situationally, which happens to be my Jirachi, being that it's specially defensive, and it does carrying 2 attacking moves, not one being Body Slam, and this automatically means I'm not walled by the necessarily sub-disable set. So he's actually going to get a special defense drop right here, not something I was hoping for, and this means I might not survive a Hidden Power Fire or basically another Shadow Ball, but I usually most likely will live another Shadow Ball. He's actually going to go for the Hidden Power Fire. Not something I really wanted to see, because this will do a lot of damage, but it will not KO, luckily, even with that special defense drop. And I am going to go for the Iron Head, which actually will not KO, but it will put him in a range which Sandstorm and another Life Orb Recall, which will easily take him out. And I'm actually going to switch out here. I see some use in Jirachi as more like a fodder, and being that I can switch into Tyranitar just to take another hit, basically puts me at a better start than anything, even though I have a bit more fodders now than usual. So he's going to get KO'd by the Sandstorm that I have set up, so that's really, really good for me. And this means this Gengar's out of my face. So he's going to go into his Infernape right here, not something I wanted to really say. So I'm actually going to switch out, and I'm going to go into Jellicent just because I can wall it. And he's actually going to go for a U-turn here. Not something I really cared to think about, but it won't do much in the long run. Really, so it's not really a big deal right now. So he's gonna go into his Ferrothorn, and I don't want to stay in here, obviously. It's going to be harsh to even bother trying to take care of this thing. But I am going to switch out into my Dragonite, and it will be able to take care of this thing, being that it is Choice Banded and a Fire Punch is a clean Oko. And he's going to set up a Leech Seed, something I didn't want to happen, actually. I was hoping he'd go more for a Power Whip, playing it safe, seeing as I already showed him the taunt on my Jellicent. But I am still going to go for a Fire Punch here, and that will easily KO him from this range. Being that it's quad super effective, and it, though not stab, I will take the Iron Barb's damage, putting me at a low range, and I am going to want to switch out soon, because basically he has a Pokemon that can hurt me, and besides I'm seeded, that will automatically mean he's gaining HP. So here he's going to go for another U-turn on my Jellicent again, and I'm actually going to have to find an opportunity to recover up so I can get myself to take more hits. And he gets a crit there. That's actually a bit unfortunate for me, though it doesn't really matter too much. And he's actually going to go to his Castern, which happens to be Scizor. And I know I can usually handle any Scizors that carry the Swords Dance because they usually happen to be only dual stab, which means I can totally resist it, and I can strike back with certain moves. And even though it's Life Orb right here, it won't be able to KO me with a Bullet Punch, so I can actually recover up, aim to go for a Will-O-Wisp or a Scald. Either way, I want to burn on this thing, and basically make it useless against my Pokemon, and basically just slowly weed it out until it's dead. So he's going to go into his Gastrodon, and I'm just going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, though it is poisoned, so that automatically means it won't hit or do anything. That's a bit of a wasted turn there. I'm just going to taunt it right here so it can't recover, and that's basically how I'm going to shut it down, force him to switch or give me a bit HP using Scald or anything, but he most likely will just go for an Earth Power to try to get some damage on me. So he's actually going to go for the recover like I thought he would by myself going for the taunt, and I'm going to try to take advantage of his situation. I'm probably going to go for a recover right here just to gain some HP so I can handle that Infernape much better, like I was at 86 HP I believe was before he got that U-turn crit. So I'm going to go into Fortress right here just to lay down a bit more hazards, make his Infernape a bit harder to switch in with. But he's actually going to pull a switch out, and he's actually going to go into it right now. Not a very, very good situation at all for me. Here, he's either going to go for another U-turn, bit of a wasted thing to be quite honest, or he's just going to go for a Flare Blitz. I know I can have my Jellicent take either of those usually, but if he is banded, that will KO. So he's actually going to go for the Flare Blitz right here, and it will take me out, and that does prove to me that he is banded, and usually they do run on bans, because their speed stat usually is very nice, but with the Sandstorm and the Toxic damage, that will take him out too. That's basically his last line of offense, really, besides Scizor, but that is I can easily handle that with my Raw Tom as long as I preserve it, and it's usually at full health most of the time in my battles, so that's okay. So here, I accidentally went to Rotom. I thought he might want to go to Scizor, even though I really should have saw that coming. So here, basically, he's recovering up. I'm banded, and I'm basically going to have to sack this Dragonite if I want to win. So all I have left, I believe, is I have quite a few Pokemon actually, but mostly it's just like they're basically dead because Jirachi is at such low health and everything else. So I'm just going to go for an Outrage, getting back to the point here. And I do take it out being that I am banded, which is very fortunate, but it will basically cost me my Dragonite because Scizor is here and it will just KO me with a Bullet Punch. But even though he does carry a Life Orb, that doesn't matter in the end because I do carry the Rotom, and when I send that in, I go for the Hidden Power Fire. That's basically going to be a good game. So comment, like, and subscribe, you people. We show this PMP Beta some more love with them likes, and if you want to see more of my stuff, I guess you can check me out. I'm 15, just so the little voice thing makes a bit more sense. So see you later.